Hello, everybody. I'm just trying to get this all set up here. Let's see. Okay. Now, you guys, last week, apparently it was glitching in the playback. Like the recorded version of the live stream was glitching really bad in the playback, and I don't know if it was doing that during the live stream last week. So if somebody was here last week and watched the live stream, was it glitching repeatedly during the live stream? And if it does it today, can somebody tell me as well? But fair warning, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know why it was glitching during the last live stream, and I'm hoping it's not doing it this time. If it is, I don't know how to fix it. So, but I would like to know if it is. So if it is, let me know. I'm just checking a few more things here to see if I can see anything. It's really hard to tell on here if it's glitching or not. It looks like it might be glitching on my end, and I don't know how to fix it. I don't know. I've been having really bad technical difficulties lately. I nearly lost my computer, and we got it fixed. I don't know. Well, anyway, if it's glitching, somebody please let me know. Like I said, I can't fix it. And I don't know how to fix it. Yeah, so, yeah. Hi, everybody. Let's put on my glasses. I did not silence my phone. I forgot, so hopefully that doesn't make any noise. Let's see who is on here. Let's see if I can go back to the... Hello, Susan, and Old Fashionista, and Laura Jane Thompson, and Sarah Reed, and Gail Marie, and Tracy. Nice to see you, Tracy. I hope you're healing all right. Hello, everybody. I know there's a delay on my chat. So, how is everybody doing? I had a rough week last week. I hope everybody's week was better than mine was last week. And also, before I forget, one of my sons is homesick with me right now. So he's settled down watching a movie. Hopefully everything will be fine. I think it'll be fine. Like a sore throat and aches and that kind of thing. So yeah, but hopefully everything's okay here. Hang on, I'm checking one more thing, you guys. I tried to start the stream faster because there was a comment that I was too slow starting the stream. So I tried to start it faster, but, you know, I don't really know what I'm doing. So, hopefully everything's okay. Does anybody know if I open another YouTube window, if it will affect the stream? Like, I'm streaming on one YouTube window. Okay, everybody's saying the stream looks okay. Gail says it looks okay. Tracy says it's okay. Yeah, aka Julianne. I knew it was, I wanted to say Julie, but I wasn't sure if that was right, and it was a good thing I didn't, because it's Julianne. I see you. Teresa says she doesn't see any glitching. Kate is popping in to say hi on her way out the door. Oh, she doesn't get to be with us. Hope you're having a really great week. I hope so too. No, it's been a little stressful. The last couple of weeks have been a little hard, but But hopefully things will be, I spent, I think 5 hours yesterday packing up all the rest of the prizes for the Painttober, and I finally got them. All of them are shipped out yesterday. So Gail Marie, your prize that you won was shipped out. I realized yesterday that I thought the shipping company was automatically sending out tracking numbers, and they weren't. So nobody got tracking numbers, but so far it seems like everybody's got everything. She said she hates being called Julie. Good. Good thing I didn't say it then. Yeah. Art to Heart says her grandbaby has had the flu all week. Yeah, we've had some stuff going around our school. It's been not great. So, I think we escaped the worst of it as long as he's not getting super sick right now. So, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So I have all my soft pastels here. I want to swatch. These are my pastels that I know are light fast. For those of you who have followed me for a while, you know I have the Sennelier 120 set. But I don't think they're light fast, and I can't find light fast ratings on them anywhere, and I can't even find pigment info for like what's in the soft pastels. So if anybody out there watching has the pigment info, let me know. But I haven't been using them because I'm afraid they're not light fast. So the ones that I have here are the ones I know are light fast, and I wanted to swatch them and see what I have and possibly place an order for some more pastels this week. One of my patrons was nice enough to let me know that Jackson's was having a sale on Unison pastels, which is my favorite brand, but I tried to order some this morning and I can't check out, and I'm not sure. I think it might be they don't ship to where I am. I don't know, because it says if there's no shipping options available, then they don't ship to where you are. And I get as far as the shipping part, and there's no shipping options available. So, yeah, I don't know if they'll ship to me or not. I'm going to try again later tonight. We'll see. Let's see, just catching up over here. Laura says she hopes Tracy has been having plenty of rest. Me too. I saw Tracy was doing a little art over on Instagram. I hope she's not hurting her shoulder. I hope you're not hurting your shoulder, Tracy. Make sure you take care of it. Tracy says sleep at night is rough. I bet. That's not great. I hope it heals super fast. Like, I hope the doctors are like, this is the fastest we've ever seen a shoulder replacement ever heal. That would be great. That's what I'm wishing for you. Tracy says it's really weird about Sennelier to not have that. I know, right? Because they do for their watercolors. And I've been looking for weeks. And I even like reached out to, I think that I emailed Sennelier and I haven't got a response yet. I might email Blick and see if they have anything. Cyborg something just caught some Unison pastels from that sale she had. Oh, you had issues checking out too. You just kept trying and it seemed to work eventually. I'm afraid the sale is going to end before I get mine checked out, but I will keep trying. Sorry, you guys, I didn't silence my phone. All right, I guess that means I gotta silence it. Hang on, everybody. Okay, silenced. Sorry about that. BNW2 color hello, Stephanie, right? I'm trying really hard to remember all the names for the people that have different screen names. So, Tracy says, yeah, she's going to have to modify her art. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I hope it heals fast. I really do. I hope it heals fast and it's better than ever. My dad had, I don't think it was a shoulder replacement, but he had a rotator cuff something, and he healed well, and he said he's so glad he did it. So I hope you feel the same way that he did. Once it's all healed, the recovery is going to be rough, I'm sure. I hope it's as short as possible. Yeah, it was annoying. Best of luck. Because I don't see why. I mean, they say they ship to the United States, so I don't see why they wouldn't ship to where I am. It's not like I'm, you know, in Alaska or Hawaii or something. I'll just keep trying. Try tweeting them. I could do that. Yep. Laura Jane said she's the enabler. She remembers. Well, I want more, I think, because the nice thing about Unison is all of them are light fast. You don't have to go through and like, they make sure that all of them are light fast. So like the Schminke, I think I've got some of the Schminke here, like 3 of them, they're not all light fast. So you have to like individually go through and like pick out the light fast ones. And also they're really pricey. So, I'm hoping to get some Unisons on a good price. Hi, Melissa. She said a kid thing made her late. She's sorry. Don't worry about it. I just was telling everybody one of my sons is homesick with me. So, hopefully everything's going to be okay. And, nothing will be interrupted. It's like a sore throat aches type of thing. So at least not like, you know, a vomiting kind of thing, which I have a little bit of a phobia of. So we'll take the other stuff over that any day. Old Fashionista said this username was my own YouTube channel, but then I added all my subscriptions. Then she created another channel for art. Now she's stuck. I'm kind of the same way. All of my subscriptions are on another one. And then I made this one for my art. Yeah, but my subscriptions are all under my real name. So, yeah. Brenda says, hello from Ohio. Hello. I hope you're having a nice day down in Ohio. It is snowing lightly here where I am, but not sticking right now. Cold though. It's cold. Melissa says, oh no, I hope he's better soon. Me too. He's the one who has the reactive airway disease, although I think he's growing out of it a little bit. So hopefully he doesn't have a flare. That's all I'm hoping about. You guys, hang on. I'm sorry. It's my husband. I will be right back. Just 2 seconds. Yeah, it's nothing. We're okay. All right. He had his tetanus shot the other day and he had a little bit of a reaction to it. So I was that was last night and he wasn't feeling great last night still from the tetanus shot and he went to work today. So I just, in case it texts, I have to check just to make sure he's not like, you know, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Old Fashionista says you have to keep logging in and out. Like for Jackson's, I've tried logging in and out. I've tried checking out on like Google Chrome. I've tried checking out on a different browser, Microsoft Edge. I tried checking out on my phone. I tried signing out of all of those and signing back in and trying them one at a time. I have not been able to check out. So that's where I'm at right now with that. Brenda says she has lots of sun. Elise, Charlene, Fine Art, hello. I hope you're having a great day too. Gail says her name is Gail and her middle name is Marie and she doesn't know how they got crammed together, but they are. That's like mine too. My stuff, a lot of my stuff says Amy Marie. My first and middle name all crammed together too, and I'm not sure how it happened either. Elise says it is Elise, yes, Elise. It is 41 degrees outside and 80 degrees in her office. That's my little heater right here. I think it's like 34 here. And this, for some reason, it's been cold in this room this year. Normally it's warm, but it's not. So I've got my little heater on for a little extra warmth in here. Dawana Riley says, excited, first live with ya. Yay! She made it to one. Let's see. Ardette Hart says her name is Missy. Hello, Missy. So let's see. All right. I better move my tea out of the way because I don't want to get pastel dust in it and then drink it. That probably wouldn't be the best thing, I would imagine. Anyway, so these are all my light fast pastels. If we have time, you guys, I broke down and I bought the 36 set of the Prismacolors. I don't know if I've been going back and forth because you can't buy them open stock anymore. And when I emailed them and asked if they were being discontinued, they didn't give me a straight answer. They just said they're available right now on Blix. So not a straight answer, but I was missing them really bad. And I refused to buy the whole 96 set, so I just bought the set of 36 for my underpaintings that I do with alcohol. So I was thinking I could maybe swatch these two. I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way. And we're just going to swatch them in a sketchbook, and I did not have time to paint it with pastel ground. Yeah, it's been busy. It's been busy. I'm really starting to worry I might not be able to do Folktale Week next week. I wrote a story and I was just rewriting it today. I don't even have anything sketched out. I was planning to do all these mixed media pieces. I may end up having to do digital just to at least participate and do it. I don't know. Today's Thursday, I guess. I guess we'll see how tomorrow goes. Gail Marie says it's 75 this morning and it's heaven, no more 100 degrees. I don't think I could do that. I might complain about the cold here, but I think there's a reason why I live here, and it's because I do not handle the heat well. I could not handle 100 degrees for that long of the year. Ouch. That is hot. Missy says she has her heater next to her too. Yep. It's that time of year. Tracy says she doesn't do heat well either. I can get up to about 82, and then at that point, I turn purpley red and I start to feel really hot. And I'm like, it's so hot. Isn't it hot? It's so hot. My husband's like, I can't even. I think that we finally broke down and got an air conditioner last summer, just a small one for in the window to do the bottom floor of our house. And I think it was partially because I don't handle the heat well. Yeah, so let's see. I will just move this. Let's see. So I have all my unisons. These are all my unisons here. And then I have a few sticks of some other brands that I know are light fast. Am I even on camera? And I thought we could check those if we have time. Oh, my shirt ripped. Yeah, so Old Fashionista says she's a summer baby. She loves the heat. See, I was born in October, so I'm thinking maybe that's why I don't handle the heat well. My whole beginning of my life was cold, so. Gail Marie says she's been there for 65 years and she never gets used to it, but she can't handle under 60 degrees. We're the opposite, I think. Sue Allen says humidity is my nemesis. Combined with the heat, I'm miserable. Yeah, because it's really humid where I live, really humid. You wouldn't think so, but it is. It's super humid in the summer, and then it normally doesn't get that hot. Normally, we top out around the low 80s, but the last couple of years, we've been 94, 95, 99. There's even been a couple 100 days, which is unusual for here. And I don't like it. I do not like it. So, Stephanie says, don't forget the thumbs up. They do help. You guys, I saw the sparkly subscribe thing twice now. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I don't know if it works on live streams either, but when you're watching a video, there's apparently this new AI thing where if the person who is in the video says subscribe and you're not subscribed, the subscribe box, it lights up with a rainbow chasing around the box, and then if you hit subscribe, there's these little fireworks and glitter and stuff. And I saw it twice. I subscribed to 2 channels and I saw it and I was really excited. It's pretty. Let's see. 60 to 80 is great for Shannon. That's good. That's a good, yeah, that's a good. I don't mind the cold though. I mean, yeah, I don't mind the cold. I will walk my dog even to like -20 and it's fine. -35 and I start to get cold. Oh, somebody subscribed. Maybe they got to see if you just subscribed. Did you see the dancing cat? That's supposed to happen like every time someone subscribes. And I set up some other things, but it keeps glitching and they don't work. Yeah. So, but I saw the dancing cat that time and it made the noise. So I got to see it this time. Maybe she got to see the sparkly thing. Missy says she has Crohn's too and heat is the worst. I always seem to, and I haven't yet, knock on wood, I'm gonna knock on wood. I haven't had one this fall, but I seem to have, my flares always start in the fall. And I'm not sure why. But I did ask my gastroenterologist about it, and they said that fall and spring are their two busiest times of the year, and they know not to take like vacations during that time because that's when, if their patients are going to have like a crisis, that's usually when it is, which I thought was interesting. You guys saw the cat. I have some other little ones that I set up to do. I can't even remember now what they were. There's I think 3 different ones and I can't remember what they were. But if you see any more, let me know. What? Melissa says, strange thing going on with likes on YouTube lately. For several days, every video I watched had 298,000 likes. Right now it's telling me you have 30,000 likes. That would be crazy considering I only have 4,000 some subscribers. Clearly not right, although it's a lovely thought. There must be something weird going on because I definitely don't have that many likes. It would be awesome though. Juliana for Old Fashionista. I can't remember now. You guys, I have terrible short-term memory. Help me out. If it's not Julianne, tell me. But she said heat helps her fibro. That's good. I'm glad it does. I think the climate plays more into stuff than people think. Laura says she says warm weather helps hers too. But when it gets too hot, it flares up. Huh. Sue Ellen says she saw that too, Melissa. She must be in the likes. Missy says hers says 18. That seems more right. Julianne. Okay, Julianne. Good. We're good. Melissa says I haven't noticed that, but I don't really pay attention to the likes too much on videos. Like I don't really, like I'll thumbs up stuff, but I don't really pay attention to what they say. I just watch the videos. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one, Julianne. It's, yeah, my kids and my husband sort of think it's funny, but that's why I have like to-do list apps on my phone and Post-it stuck everywhere with things to do, and I have my short-term memory is not great. But there are worse things to deal with in life. I also have a little bit of face blindness. So I often don't recognize people that I should recognize. And that one causes a little bit more trouble than the short-term memory issues. Yeah. Because sometimes people get offended when I don't recognize them. And, like, I have to tell my husband, like, a lot of the times, like, it's people he knows from, like, work or whatever, and I should recognize them, but I don't. And I have to be like, make sure you tell them I'm sort of face blind. Yeah. I'm above 50% because you have 21 likes out of 33. I don't know what that means, but above 50% sounds good, right? Below 50% is failing. I don't, that's, you know, in school. I don't know about on YouTube. Julianne says she has lists to remind me I have a list. I have a reminder set on my, I'm not going to say her name because she'll answer me, but you know, where you say, so-and-so, remind me at blah, blah, blah. I have a reminder set to go off every day at noon to check my to-do list. So I'm with you with that. I have a reminder reminding me to check my to-do list that goes off every day at noon. So I hear you on that one. Yep. Lots of notebooks and scraps of paper. Yep. I have a bullet journal and I write everything down, and then I write it down again on a Post-it note and stick it up, and then I write it down on the app on my phone. Elise says in averages, that is awesome. Good. I'm not even I'm great. I'm glad. It's good. I don't really know. Kristen says, good afternoon. Hello. Melissa, yes, you are right. And if I say her name, she will talk to me. That is exactly who I'm talking about. Let's get to the swatching lady. Okay. I mean, I'm kind of just here for the chatting. But I can swatch if you want. You could always say please. But we can do it. That actually brings up a question. Like, I was wondering, like, it seems to me that a lot of the people are here more for the chatting than, like, any actual, move this stuff over, chatting for, like, as opposed to actual, like, doing stuff. And it is very hard for me to do any sort of, like, art and carry on a conversation at the same time, which is why I've been doing, like, swatchings and openings and stuff. So I'm wondering, like, I could do, like, the lives could be like a live class, but I'm not going to be able to, like, chat and do a class at the same time. I don't know what that means. I'm not rude today, just enjoying the best. LOL. I forgot what I was saying. Short-term memory. What was I saying? Oh, I can't do art and talk at the same time. So I've been wondering, like, do people want me to do classes where I don't talk and, like, it's just like basically like a live demonstration? Whatever you guys want is fine with. In fact, I could probably put up a poll when we're done talking if you want. Yeah, Kristen says most people, if they do both, are having someone else read the comments anyway. I am all on my own. I am a one-woman show. I do everything myself. Everything. Everything's done by me on this channel. So I don't have editors. I don't have people helping me with like business stuff. I have no assistants. I have no graphics people. Everything is me. This first box is upside down, apparently, but it's my set of 8 half sticks of the green. Exactly. Laura says if you do artwork live, you can't chat as much. I can't chat at all. Like, I can't multitask to that extent, if that makes sense. You know what? Let's label these before we start so I know what's in what. I have a couple repeats, but not many. I checked it out before I started, so I think I have maybe 4 repeats in the half stick sets that I have. I also can't talk while I'm writing. Otherwise, the words that I'm talking somehow end up the words that I'm writing. So these are the set of 8 half sticks I got all of mine from Blick. Somebody asked me the other day why I mostly shop at Blick, and that's because there's 2 reasons. One, generally their price is one of the cheapest, and 2, there is a hub, a fulfillment hub in my state. So when I order from Blick and do like the free shipping option, it is usually at my house in like 48 hours. So like if I order on a Friday, it'll often be delivered on a Monday. And that's the free shipping option. Like, that's normally supposed to take a long time, but because they're so close, it comes really fast. So that's usually why I buy from Blick. But the bottom set here is my newest set of unisons. Those were from Blick. And I was looking at, so it's the light set, the full stick. They're not half sticks, they're full sticks. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the channels. I'm probably just staring, or the comments, I'm probably just staring straight ahead with my mouth open. I see, I'm trying to, oh, Helen said her daughter passed. That is so awful. I can't even imagine. I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine. It must just be unimaginable. And we are here for you. And I'm glad I can help, even if in a little way, during this hard time. I'm so sorry. Tara says she's sorry she's late. YouTube didn't give me a notification and I got sidetracked eating my dinner. That is a-okay. As everything seems kerbobbled today for me anyway. So you're not the only one. It's been like that for the last week or so. I need a paper towel. Okay. My paper towel holder wasn't great, but I got one. Oh, someone says she was only 14. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's heartbreaking when stuff like that happens. My brother-in-law passed right before his 18th birthday a while back, and it doesn't go away. I'm so sorry you have to go through that. I'm so sorry. I don't know about life sometimes, you guys. It is a lot harder and darker than I thought it was going to be as a kid. Where was I? This is the Unison landscape set of 18, I think. That looks like 18, right? Yeah. 4 and 4, 8. No, that's not 18. 16. It's their small landscape half set. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why life has to be so hard sometimes. And I'm glad that we can at least sort of be here for each other, even if it's not in real life. I mean, it's sort of real life. I'm glad you can come here and we can support you and you don't feel so alone, maybe. If we can do that, then that's saying something, I think. Tracy says, what makes Unison so much better than the others? So Unison for me is the perfect soft pastel, if that makes sense. I'll show you later, but like the schminka, I always say that wrong. The schminka are almost too soft. The Sennelier can be very, very soft too, but also they're not light fast. These are the perfect softness to go over. Like, I like the soft ones at the end. These could be used for a middle layer and the end. And they're light fast. All of their pigments are light fast at Unison. They don't make any that aren't light fast. So you don't have to worry about that. But I'd say it's mostly the softness, the smoothness. They feel almost like buttery and creamy. They don't crumble in your hands like some of the other really soft ones, but they still are soft enough to get those bright bursts of color at the end, if that makes sense. Bye, Brenda. Thanks for stopping by. I'm sorry you couldn't stay longer, but I hope you had fun while you were here. Yeah, adulting is hard, Laura. Laura Jane, you were right. Adulting is hard. Sorry, there was a truck out there. Melissa says, what? Sennelier aren't light fast? So Sennelier does not have light fast ratings on any of their soft pastels. I cannot find the info for it anywhere. I can't even find pigment info for their pastels, and I've been hearing rumors that they are not light fast, or even light fast tested, which is crazy because their watercolors all are. And there's actually been a big movement for, so soft pastels aren't regulated light fast standard wise like watercolors are. They're one of the only art supplies left that aren't light fast rated. And there's been a big push by people lately to make them be light fast rated because you don't know what you're working with unless you take the time to test it all yourself, or you find one of the few companies that are light fast or have light fast ratings. So like the Schminke, I'll just pause for a second to show you. So the nice thing about them is they are light fast rated right on the, you guys, my camera's not working great. Hopefully it'll focus. I don't know if you can see that, but there's stars right here. And this is 5 stars. So this is their highest light fast rating. So these are rated right on the outside of the barrel. But not all of the Schminke pastels are light fast. But at least they are rated. And that's why, like, Unison, I don't have to, like, scrounge around in the paperwork to see what their light fast rating is. They are supposed to all be light fast. And they only use the super light fast pigments, apparently. That's what their big selling point is, I think. But yes, they are expensive. Yep. Elise says, always remember that you cannot have the good without the bad, light without the dark. That is true. But sometimes the bad, while it's happening, can feel very, very, very dark. Yeah. It's hard to remember that nothing stays the same when you're in one of those really dark places, which we all have. Everybody has them. I just don't think people talk about them all that much for some reason. What if you use a fixative? Fixatives do not change anything as far as light fast rating. Fixatives will keep them from smearing on the paper. Most professional artists do not use fixatives with soft pastels because they usually cause some color shift. I have not found a fixative that doesn't cause at least some color shift. And actually I have my video coming up on Saturday, not tomorrow, but the day after. I am talking about the 15 art hacks, tips, and supplies that changed my art life. And I will talk about fixatives in that. So if you're curious about fixatives, there's a little section in there on that. Generally, if you're using a good paper, and I recommend a sanded paper or pastel mat, they will grab on to the pastels enough that you won't have like shedding of color and you won't need a fixative. And most people, like, I generally only use a fixative if it's in my sketchbook and I don't want it to smear, although even then sometimes I'll just put a sheet of paper or glassine in between the pages so that I dropped these, you guys. I dropped these. I dropped the whole box, but only one of them broke. So, yeah, because the color shift can be dramatic depending on which fixative you're using. Like, it can change the whole tone of a piece. I can't remember who it was. Somebody I'm friends with over on Instagram, an art friend, did a portrait with soft pastels and then sprayed fixative on it, and the person's face turned bright orange. And she was just heartbroken because it ruined her piece that she had spent, weeks on. Kristen says, if you had to choose between Ohuhu markers and the Neo Color 2s, which would you purchase first? I'm trying to decide on my next splurge. What are you using them for? I love them both. I use them for very different things though. So, I guess like, yeah, what do you want to use them for? Answer that and then I'll so the UV fixative that extends light fastness, that is generally considered to not be a thing. If you actually read the tests behind it, to have a UV fixative that is strong enough to actually stop the colors from shifting, it generally will make your thing have a milky film to it. And it like do some research, because it generally is a thing they put on the label and they don't back it up, if that makes sense. A lot of the UV fixatives don't do anything. So I'm just reading through the comments. According to Derwent, fixatives can be used with oil-based pencils and do not damage the pigment. However, it can affect the light fastness. I would imagine that means it can affect it in a negative way. I don't know. I have not used a lot of Derwent products. So I can't say for Derwent for sure. Melissa says, like, putting on thick white sunscreen. Right. It does have a little, and that's why like you know, the big museums like the Met and stuff, they don't want the UV fixatives on any of their pieces. And that's why they control the lighting so well. And it's milky. You can't see through it really well. And in fact, the UV glass has that same issue. It can cause viewing issues, and they won't use the UV glass in the big museums either because of that. So they just control the lighting conditions at all times to make sure it's not getting ambient light and whatnot. Kristen says, it's just for me to play around. I mostly do animal drawings and paintings, but those are the two mediums I want to try more. So I would say if you like to do like a watercolor underlayer with a little colored pencil on top for animals, I love my Ohuhu markers for that. They are like a no mess, no fuss form of watercolors essentially, and you can build them, and I actually find them easier to work with than watercolors, and then they play really well with colored pencils. So if we're talking like animal illustrations, I would go with the Ohuhus. The Neo Colors, if you're using a lot of watercolor and you're going to use the Neo Colors like watercolor, then maybe you might like those. I mostly got them to use in illustration for mark making. I wanted to use them for Folktale Week. Hopefully I get to do it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'm just trying to catch up. I really like the cover they did, Disturbed of Sound of Silence. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't think I know. I think, yeah, everybody I know has at some point gone through some dark times in their lives. This is the Unison 30 set. I think this is just their assorted starter colors 30 set half stick. So we'll label that and do that one next. I really hope I can get the Jackson's checkout to work later. Not landscape. See, that's why I can't talk and write at the same time. Assorted 30 set. Oh, and I should write half. Yeah. Stephanie says several sites state fixative can enhance the light fastness. I guess it depends on the chemistry and the fixative. And, you know, it's really, it's like the whole, you know, do I use light fast products or do I not if I'm selling my art? It all depends on what you feel comfortable with as an artist too. Just because I personally don't think that the UV fixatives would, you know, help enough that I would want to use them. I mean, if they make you feel more comfortable about selling your work, I mean, go ahead, you know. I generally try to just stay with stuff that's light fast in the first place. If I did use something that was not light fast, then I would make sure to tell the customer up front. Like with my colored pencils, like I don't know if you remember the orchid drawing I did a while back. The colored pencils I used, I wanted some pinks and purples, and those are generally only light fast for 15 years. Like I would warn the buyer that they were generally only light fast for 15 years so they would know. I'm probably getting pastel all over my face. I did a pastel drawing yesterday and I went and looked in the bathroom and I had like green pastel all over my face. I don't even know how it happened. Kristen says, I have so many Derwent products and I love them all. I have a small box of the ink Tense blocks and I love them. And I just got the Derwent Graphitint watercolor pans and the Derwent Graphitint pencils, both the whole set. So I'm really loving those. I was going to use them for Folktale Week. We'll see what happens. It's been really busy. It's not because I don't want to try Derwent. I just haven't got around to trying them yet. There's just so many things, but I do want to do that. She wants both, just which first? I have that complete set syndrome. Does anybody know how much the full set of Ohuhus is? I'm not sure. I know like to get a 48 set, that generally runs about $39. I think probably the Ohuhus would be a lot more expensive. Julianne says, when you say illustration, what do you mean? I specialize in fashion illustration and I'm a bit confused as I make illustration, or you make illustration sound like a style. I kind of think illustration is a style. It can be varied. I mean, there's all sorts of styles within a style. But like illustration is, you know, a different category and subset than say, you know, impressionistic fine art, if you know what I mean. But then there's going to be like categories within, you know, the illustration, like, you know, more graphic stylized designs or like children's illustrations or fashion illustrations. It's all, you know, different facets and whatnot of subcategories of categories of categories. I have not tried the Winsor and Newton Faber-Castell watercolor markers yet. That is another thing on my list of things I'd like to try, but I have not tried them yet. And yes, I know, and like the Faber-Castell Pit markers are pigment and not alcohol, which would make them light fast. That's it. The Ohuhu markers, Copics, all the alcohol markers, they're all dye-based. None of them are light fast, just so, I think it was Kristen who was talking about it. Just so you know, if you want to use, and that's why I said illustration with the Ohuhu markers. You can sell prints of what you make with the Ohuhu markers, but I personally wouldn't sell a finished piece with any alcohol marker because they're not light fast. They're dye based, not pigment based. So yeah. I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Anyway. Yeah, so in general, I don't use fixatives. I tend to like to use a sanded paper or the pastel mat so it locks the color pigments into place. When I'm done with a piece, I take it outside and I give it a good bang on the back, and that's pretty much all that you're going to have coming off And then I will put it right into like a cellophane mat. And then pastel pieces should be framed with a spacer between the piece and the glass. And that's generally how most pastel pieces are framed. And just because I don't use well, I shouldn't say I don't use a fixative. I do occasionally use a fixative. It's just that there is a color shift. Even with the best of the best, there's a color shift. And I've tested it and I shot footage of it, but I didn't put it up for some reason. But I did like a whole thing of a pastel all the way across all the colors, and then I sprayed it with a bunch of different fixatives, and all of them caused color shifts. Generally, there was a darkening of color and a loss of the highlights. But like I said earlier, I had that art friend who did a portrait. And then when she put the fixative on, her peach skin tones turned bright orange. So, yeah. Kristen says she's not selling anything. It's currently just for me right now. I love the alcohol markers. They're so much fun. And like, you know, you can make stickers from it. You can make prints from it. You can, you know, do an illustration for an illustration job with them. In general, if you don't need to have like a finished art piece hanging on the wall for forever, like there's no reason not to use alcohol markers. They're really pretty. Melissa says, did you try Spectrafix? Yes, I did. Stay tuned for the video on Saturday. I will tell you my 3 favorite fixatives in the video. Yes, that's coming up on Saturday. And that's all I'm going to say, because then nobody will want to watch it. Yeah. I've tried a bunch of fixatives. And there are only 3, and one of them is an oil pastel fixative. The other 2 are soft pastel fixative. But there's only 3 that I would consider on my work. If that makes sense. Yeah. So, like, for example, I did a pastel piece for my son's room that he wanted me to do. And I did use a fixative on that. And it darkened things up considerably, but he didn't care. And I don't have to worry about him, like, it's not framed. It's just, like, hung on his wall. So I don't have to worry about him, like, brushing up against it and, like, getting the color on his pajamas or the colors falling off or anything like that. So, I mean, you know, and I will often spray sketchbooks with fixative. And then I will say with oil pastels, I always use a fixative. Yes, I always use a fixative with the oil pastels because I just feel like it would be really hard to sell an oil pastel piece without a fixative, if that makes sense. Like, how would you ship it? It's just all, you know, creamy and gooey. And yes, there's a little bit of a color shift with the oil pastels, but less than with soft pastels. And I'm not sure why. I don't know. But with oil pastels, I always use a fixative, and that's strictly because they're so gooey. I don't know how you would sell and ship anything otherwise. Elise said, I had a horrible time with Spectrafix. It left dots all over my drawing and ruined my artwork. I found, like, I spray it a couple times in the air first to make sure it's not doing that. And then I'll spray it from very far away towards my stuff that I am spraying it on. And I do, like 4 really light layers, letting them dry totally in between. If I'm using that one, and I find that gets rid of the dotting. I have heard that people have had trouble with the dotting, but I have not had that. Yes, oil pastels don't seem to have the same color shift. I agree, they don't. Okay, so this is my newest set here of Unisons, and I have not even tried these yet. Unison Light 18 set. I didn't leave very much room. I might have to make these swatches smaller. Yeah, so hairspray is obviously not archival. You know, you have no idea what's in there, what chemicals are in there, what it'll do to your paper. But if you don't care, then it's not a problem. Like if it's something you don't need to keep for forever, then yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out. Elise says, I even bought a spritzer to stop the dots, but it did not work. I know they have the aerosol cans of the Spectrafix now. That might be one to try. The Spectrafix is non-toxic, and I really like it I like that about it. I guess I'd say it's worth trying some other stuff just to see if you can get it to work, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. Also, I would say buy it from like a reputable art place and maybe not on Amazon. I've sometimes found that the stuff from Amazon can be like old and not great. I mean, it's cheaper on there, and sometimes I think that might be why. Yeah. Yeah, in general, I would say maybe try buying it from like an actual art store. This is the light set, and these are pretty. I find like a lot of the time when you buy sets, like you can sort of see it here, there's a lot of mid-tones, but not a ton of lights and not a ton of darks. And in fact, the next thing I want to get from Unison is their dark set. It seems like it's a lot of mid-tones, you know, like but not on either end. Yeah, I personally feel like if I'm going to make something, I want to use light fast products, because I have many times used non-light fast products thinking like I was just playing around and it was just for fun, and then I made something I really liked, and yeah. I have some Prismacolors that I've been testing in my south-facing garage window since May, and I can tell you that some of those are almost gone. So Gail Marie says, random question, do you have a recommendation for a pencil sharpener for colored pencils? Because if you want a recommendation for colored pencils, watch the video on Saturday. Yeah. Gail Marie says, I know Prismacolor and no for breaking, but it's really bad. So the Prismacolor, you know, they're light fast rated, but if you buy that 150 set and you like half of them, maybe not half, maybe like a third, are only light fast rated for 0 to 2 years in regular conditions, which is actually really disappointing, I think. Yeah, that's nothing. So and then they have a bunch that are rated for 2 to 15 years. And that's, or no, maybe it was 2 to 25. I think it was 2 to 25. Yeah, but so that's a big range. So all the ones that were in that range, I am light fast testing, because I would not consider using a pencil that only lasts 2 years, but I might consider using one that lasts 25 years. So I'm testing those, and I'm also testing all my Daniel Smiths too that I have. I have like 40 colors. And there's something else that I'm testing in there, but I can't remember what it was. There's three tests up in there. I should get them down and see how they're doing. Maybe I could do that in next week's video. See what they're doing. These lights are really pretty. I really like them. They're like pastel-y colors. I think, I don't know. I don't know why they don't use light fast pigments. I know that it's really hard to get bright, clear pinks and reds and purples that aren't fugitive. So that's, I mean, partially the problem. Like, people want those colors, like the opera pink watercolor. If you've ever used an opera pink watercolor and it's a true opera pink watercolor, that's not light fast. No opera pinks are light fast. They technically have a fluorescent dye in them to make them that pink. And again, that's a personal decision if you want to use them or not. See how I'm putting a piece of paper in between so that they don't smear. No fixative, just doing that. Yeah, so the opera pink, any opera pink from any watercolor brand is going to be fugitive. So, but people really like it, so they still sell it. Let's see. Terry Line says, do you have a plan for a pastel piece with light colors? I do a lot of skies, a lot of sunsets and sunrises and stuff like that. And there tend to be, I need a range of pale colors for the skies generally, which is why I got those. Let's try these Schminke. I only have 3. If you guys think the Unison are expensive, check out the price on these. These are super duper expensive. Elise says, have you ever tried Roman Smalls watercolor? I have not. The only place that I can get them is from Jackson's. And I have yet to place an order from Jackson's. For those of you who are on the beginning of the thing here with me, I'm trying to place an order at Jackson's, but it's not working right now. I'm going to label these. But yes, that is something I would like to, I spelled that wrong. I spelled it so wrong. I would like to try them. I've heard lots of people telling me I should try them, and the only place that I can find them in the United States is Jackson's. None of the big retailers carry them. Amazon doesn't carry them. If that makes sense. So someday. So I just got 3 greens here to try from them, just to see what I thought. These look like practically the same color. It's hard to pick stuff out online sometimes. I did the best I could. They're basically all the same color. You can see though, this is just sketchbook paper, but you can see how much more crumbly these are than the Unisons. In fact, if I go like this, I don't know if you can see all this dust here. The Unisons did not dust like that. I'd really like an art studio that's not in my house. I just worry about kids and pets and stuff breathing that dust in. It's not running now because you wouldn't be able to hear me. I do have a HEPA filter right over here, a big HEPA filter air cleaner that I always run while I'm doing pastels. But I do hope that at some point I could have an art studio, because I don't like the thought of this dust being in my house, if that makes sense. But I really love pastels, so Elise says I go back and forth if I like them better than the Schminke, the watercolors. I should try them. I have 2 watercolor videos coming up, but neither of them are with either of those brands. Yeah, but they're gonna be fun. These are the Mount Vision. And these are all light fast, and I got a selection of darks from them to test out and see. I think this one is supposed to be a dupe for the Terry Ludwig eggplant that everybody loves. The Terry Ludwig eggplant. I would like to buy some, but they're $7 a stick, which is very expensive. And then you have to pay shipping for them too. So they're not my budget right now. The Mount Vision are a little harder than the Unison. They feel a little gritty. They're still pretty crumbly on the paper, but they feel harder, if that makes sense. But they're more messy too. So these are my Mount Vision. Wow, I'm a mess. Oh yeah, Dusty Melissa says. Yes, they are. These would be dusty. I'm not going to tap them on the thing because this is all I have. I'll wait and my HEPA filter's not going. Never, if you are, never blow on your pastels. And if you can, don't even tap them in the house. You should take them outside, especially if you're using like any cadmiums or cobalts or, I don't think there's any lead in most of them, but the cadmium and cobalts, those are technically heavy metals and they're toxic, so don't do that in the house. And I do suggest a HEPA filter. These are, I have a whole little box here of the Great Americans that I got a range of what I thought were maybe fall colors that I wanted to try. I am not going to take the ferret out right now because I don't want her around the dust. I do worry about it being toxic. She was in the video last week though. If you watched it, she made an appearance. She wanted out. Maybe I could take her out at the beginning of the video or the live stream next week and you guys could see her. But I don't want her to breathe this dust in. Ferrets are, like, you can't have them around like essential oils and stuff like that either because they're sensitive. Their liver can't clear stuff as well as bigger animals, I guess. I don't know. Oh, Tracy said her daughter called to check up on her. That's great. I'm glad you have a daughter to call and check up on you. That makes me feel good. Yes, the Schminke watercolor, the granulating colors are absolutely gorgeous. I think they're Shire set. Gorgeous. I love those. These Great Americans are nice. They feel a lot like the Unisons, actually. Pretty smooth and creamy. These are nice. The Great Americans get a thumbs up from me. I would definitely like some more of these. Again, not a great job picking out colors online, though. I tried. I mean, this color and this color look basically the same. I don't see much of a difference between those two. Let's just, out of curiosity, let's put them right next to each other. Let's see. So this is that one. Yeah, maybe there's an ever so slight difference in color. Yeah. The Great Americans are cheaper. The Mount Vision and the Great Americans are cheaper than like the Schminke and the Unison, but I can't remember how much, Tracy. I just remember that they are cheaper. But I don't know by how much. Yeah, the Mungyo Soft Pastels. I have the really cheap set, which is not their artist set, but like the $10 set that you can get on Amazon. And I have two tutorials up for those. Yeah. Yeah, they're I mean, they're not light fast again. So, and that was why I went to more light fast ones, because I did, I think 2 or 3 with those that I really liked. And then I was sad that they weren't light fast at all. Lee says my favorites are Rembrandt, but they are a harder soft pastel. Yes. Yup. These are my Rembrandts. I don't think I have time to swatch these today because my other son is going to be home soon. I had them out just in case. These are a harder one. And I like these for underpainting a lot. I got these originally to be like a replacement for these. But it ended up like, sometimes I really, they're just brand new. I haven't even taken them out yet. Look at how pretty they are in there. No dirt anywhere. No breaks. They're gorgeous. But I ended up really missing the square stick set. So just to show you the shapes. I for some reason I find that I use the edges of these a lot. I use them so for underpainting, but also sometimes I'll put in some details at the end with them. Oops. Well, you can see that I use these ones a lot. But these don't have hard edges, so I was really missing the hard edges. But I do most of my underpainting and underlayering with these now, and then do the soft on top of them. Rembrandt are cheaper, yes. I'm fairly sure they're all light fast, but I don't know for sure, and I need to check them. I know for sure that the Prismacolors aren't all light fast. They luckily have the numbers right on the side, so you can check and only use the ones that are light fast. I have not tried the Jack Richardson yet. I've heard they're great. I would like to try some. Great American have sets of 18 for $70. So I would assume those are the whole stick ones. Oh, let me think. So I think the full, these are the full stick, not half stick of the Unison. This set here I think was $89 for full stick. So maybe the Great American is not cheaper. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they're comparable to Unison. Elise says I should hang on. You guys. Elise said I should try the Conte Pastels out of Paris. They're light fast and going to be just like the Prismacolor. With this shipment, I got these too. This is I think their small landscape set. It is still in the plastic. I haven't even opened them yet. Yeah, I am going to try those too. Melissa thinks it's funny. I was thinking that so I've heard that these have wax in them. I haven't tried them yet, but I have heard that they have wax in them and they can feel different than the Prismacolors, and I need something open with it. But they are light fast. So my plan was to try this little set and see what I think, and that is also why I didn't buy the 96 set of the Prismacolors, even though there are some colors that I really wanted in that I've used up from before. I don't even know if I can get this open. There, I got it. So this is so let's try these real quick. So they're quite a bit smaller. I mean, they don't really feel like they have wax in them. But supposedly they do. They do feel different. They do feel different. Let's just try it again. Let's try a different color just so I can see how it feels. I need to test these. Yeah, that feels the same. I need to test them and with alcohol and see what they do when I do an underpainting with alcohol and all of that. And see. Doesn't Jackson sell the Great Americans? Blick sells the Great Americans. I haven't checked Jackson's. Laura says, what other brands of pastels are you hiding away? I think I have them all out now, except for my Pan Pastels and my Senneliers. That's all I have, though. For real. That's all of them. But yeah, I don't know how many of you saw the poll I put up. I think, was it yesterday or the day before, where I was talking about... So I have 3 art goals that I'd like to accomplish at some point. I would like to... put together a children's illustration portfolio and maybe work in the children's illustration market. I would like to apply to the Pastel Society of America and try to be a member. I mean, it's juried, you have to be juried in. And I'd also like to apply someday to the Oil Painters Society of America. I think I have all the names right. And I put up a poll seeing if anybody would be interested in watching any of those journeys. I've really been leaning hard into the pastels lately. And I was really trying to get serious about it and figure out what I'm doing, what I would like to do, how my work process and flow is, and all of that. So that is why I have so many pastels and why I'm testing so many different brands and stuff. Elise says they do not have any wax in them. They are very hard. I wonder why I thought they had wax in them. I don't know why I thought that. That's interesting. Well, that'll be something I'll have to check out. Again, I'm going to run some tests with those with alcohol and stuff and see how they work. Yes. Elise said that they make pastel pencils that are great as well. Oh, I have pastel pencils. I've been doing some pastels lately. I've been working on. I do mean for this to eventually be a Patreon tutorial. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but I was working on this a little bit last week. Maybe it would be better to show it this way. This is pastel pencil. This is mostly the Stabilo Carbothello, but I do have the full set of the Faber-Castell Pitt pencils as well, and those have the light fast rating right on the outside of all of them, both brands. So that's nice. Hi, BG. Is that how you say it, BG? Tracy said she selected all options. Haha. Yeah. Well, pastels are expensive. And the thing about pastels are you can't like mix your colors. So like with oil paints, when I didn't have, you know, a ton of money. I still don't have a ton of money, but it was a lot easier to buy like 5 tubes of paint and mix all your own colors. And you can do that to some extent with pastels, but not like with oil paints. So yeah, pastels are expensive. The Pitt pastel pencils. I like them a lot too. They're very nice and hard. Kristen says, I have pastel. Have you tried using gloves? I would normally, I don't have them on now, but I normally work with purple gloves on. They're the neoprene gloves, and yeah, I'm not loving how my fingers feel right now either, so I just work with the gloves on. I had a box here, but I think my husband might have borrowed it. I don't know, but the neoprene gloves really help. Cause yeah, my hands, you can see like it's drying out my fingers just that little bit, like they look wrinkly. So yeah, I'll have to wash my hands and put some lotion on. Tracy says she has the Durant pastel pencils, but nothing to compare them with. Okay, so I have the Faber-Castell pastel pencils, and I have the Stabilo Carbothello pastel pencils, and they're totally different from each other. The Faber-Castell are like really hard and really good for fine details, whereas the Stabilo are almost more like a unison pastel, but in a pencil form. I don't know what the Derwent pastel pencils are like, but I'd like to try those, and I would also like to try the Conte pastel pencils. I recently stumbled across an artist on Instagram who uses them, and her work is gorgeous. And I think Elise, you were talking about them. Are they light fast, the Conte pastel pencils? Because a lot of the Stabilos and the Pitt pencils aren't. So I'm looking for some that are, yeah. Elise says you can try and mix your pastels on a Caran Dash palette. It has a side that is rough like sandpaper. I mean, you can, like, you know, like I would mix pan pastel, and I do mix pan pastel. When I'm in the last layers of soft pastel, I like those big, bright, bold strokes that you can only get with a stick. Yeah. Melissa says, have you ever looked down and find a random plastic gemstone on your floor and you have absolutely no idea where it came from? No, but I have done that with glitter. Sometimes my husband says I walk around trailing glitter. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so the Conte are light fast. I would really like to get some of those. I think if I'm going back and forth on whether I want to stick with the soft pastel sticks, or if it's the whole style thing again. Do I want to be really realistic, or do I want to be loose? So for like really realistic, I like the pencils. Loose, I like the big chunky sticks. It's something, I don't know. So you guys, it is 2:18 where I am. And this was like, ended up being like all the pastels and all the info about all the pastels. I hope it was helpful. I hope if somebody had any questions, I answered it. Does anybody have any last minute questions about pastels that you might want answered, or any other sort of questions? I'm hoping still to do Folktale Week, but things have been really crazy. I have my story written. I don't have any thumbnails sketched out. I haven't started working on anything. I'm hoping next week is really calm and I can work on it, but we'll see. Her magic dust following me. Amy's really a unicorn. Yep. You guys want to hear something funny? I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing, but when I was 4, I had bangs, you know, like big bangs. And I guess apparently I stole, I think it was Vaseline, and I made myself a unicorn horn out of my bangs. I guess it took my mom like 2 months, she said, to get the Vaseline totally washed out of my hair. But yes, as young as 4, I wanted to be a unicorn. Kristen says lighting recommendations. I just have little cheap ring lights, which apparently, I mean, I've had comments that my lighting isn't great. So, I'm not the one for the lighting recommendations. If anybody else has any, please share them with Kristen. Laura says, hope things calm down for you, Amy, and your son feels better soon. Me too. I hope he wakes up tomorrow and feels a lot better, and I hope nobody else gets it. And we can just have a nice, calm weekend. That would be ideal. I see people laughing at my unicorn thing. Yep. It was, I guess, there's a picture of it. It was really straight and stiff. It was really out there. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway. Yeah, no, that was something different. Yep, unicorn ambition at a young age, I guess. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good weekend. I wish it were Friday. It's not. We've got one more day to go. It's Thursday, but soon it'll be Friday. Sorry if I have pastel on my face. Gail Marie says, I just ordered a light box from Amazon, like a light pad, so you can use for your illustrations. I love my light pad. It makes things so much easier. Elise says when she was 3 or 4, she used to climb out of her crib and walk down the street to the square, and she would tell the police officer she was lost so he would buy her an ice cream. That is crazy. I feel kind of bad for your parents. Independent and knows what you want from a young age, right? Melissa says you wanted to be a unicorn. Totally valid goal. Yep. Anyway, you guys, a box to get controlled lighting. That sounds good. I at some point, maybe some point, I'll get a studio and have like nice lighting and stuff. We'll see someday, maybe. Which colored pencils are best for drawing? I use a combination of Prismacolor, Caran d'Ache Luminance, Polychromos, which are probably my favorite, but they're harder. And then I have a handful of the Derwent Lightfast. I would recommend a combination between, I like to work with some wax pencils, which are the creamy, soft, luscious ones like Prismacolor and Caran d'Ache. And then I also like to have some harder ones for details, which are the Polychromos. You can do a whole colored pencil drawing just with the Polychromos. It might take you a little bit longer. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents on the colored pencils. The Prismacolors are good for starting with. Just be aware a lot of them are not light fast. But they are fairly, they're not inexpensive, but they're on the cheaper end of all those other pencils that I mentioned. But I think Polychromos are probably my favorite. I would like to try the Derwent drawing pencils. They have a nice muted color tone scheme that I would like to try someday. It's unicorn dust on your face. Do I have pastel dust on my face? I wouldn't be at all surprised. I did yesterday. Anyway, you guys, I hope you have a good weekend. I hope it's calm and cozy and peaceful and everybody gets to make some art. And I will see you next week here on the live stream. Just a quick plug for the Patreon. If you do want to join my Patreon, the top tier, the Apprentice Artist tier, that is all up and running, and we're going to be having our first live Zoom call. I think not next week, but the week after. I could be wrong. The schedule is up on my Patreon, and that's available for everybody to see. I'm hoping that goes smoothly. I have never hosted a Zoom call before. Yeah, but I was thinking if people like the live stream, they might want to go do that. But I also, you know, support to support. If you're watching me here on YouTube, that's supporting my channel. It doesn't matter whether you're on Patreon or not, but I just thought I would mention it in case you wanted a more interactive thing where you can actually talk back and I can see your face. So, yeah. Tracy says she loves the Derwent drawing pencils. Laura says, has anyone tried the Castle Arts colored pencils? I have not tried them, so I do not know. I hope you guys all have a great weekend, and I'm going to go check on my son and see how he's doing, and I hope you all stay healthy and safe. All right, talk to you all later. Bye.